Hi and welcome to Vindicast number 10. For my 10th Vindicast, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to bring you one of my own ladder games because I really wanted to show, I really wanted to make a point with this game. I wanted to show something very specific, tries just to be a little bit of an educational replay for Zerg and Protoss players. So, without further ado, spawning in the top right of the soon-to-be extinct from the ladder map pool, we have the red Zerg Bread Friend. And spawning in the bottom left, we have yours truly, the blue Protoss player, Vindicare. Okay, so this is Metropolis Ladder Edition, and Metropolis Ladder Edition, because of its tendency to cause frame rate issues with lower spec machines, is soon going to be eliminated from the Blizzard map pool. It will be eliminated from it starting tomorrow, the 24th of April. Okay, so I am a random player. I need to say that straight out. So this is important because the Zerg doesn't know what race I'm spawning as in addition to my position. So this really puts one of the reasons why I like playing random, aside from the fact that I just think it's more fun, one of the things I like about playing random is that it really puts your opponent at a relatively minor disadvantage at the beginning of the game. Your opponent doesn't know what race you are, so they don't really know how to open against you. But here's the thing. He does scout my probe because I'm going out because I want to see what he's going to be doing. And it's specifically this. I want to prevent this sort of thing. I'm going for a Forge Fast Expand. Okay? I'm going for a Forge Fast Expand. I see that he's taking a hatch first, a 15 hatch in ZvP against Protoss. He hasn't scouted me. He doesn't know what I am doing. He just knows that I'm Protoss. Now, here's the big thing. You can go 15 hatch against Terran. Don't ever go 15 hatch against Protoss, because a smart Protoss will punish you for it, which is exactly what I'm doing. I have to say, just to kind of defend myself a little bit, I'm not normally a cheesy player, but when you go 15 hatch against me and I'm a random like Protoss that's also Forge Fast Expanding, there is no reason for me not to do this to you. No reason for me not to do this. I dropped a pylon over in the corner of his natural. I'm dropping 2 photon cannons here. Really all I'm trying to do is get him to cancel his nexus and go back up so that I can start my own nexus and we can go straight into a ladder game. But he's not really taking me seriously with this. He's trying to deny these photon cannons, and I'm just going to start killing drones with it. He finally decides that he wants to cancel this, but here's the thing. At this point, I'm realizing that I had invested a lot into this, so I decided if I'm already going to invest the 300 and the 450 plus 200 for the 2 pylons, that's a lot of minerals for this little expansion block that I did. I realized that I really need to make sure the Zerg doesn't expand at all for a long time in order to stay ahead, so I go for this pylon block. Now, here's the thing. I have to preface this again. I'm not normally a cheesy player. I did this strategy because my Zerg opponent scouted that I was random and went for a hatch first. If you do that, you're giving your opponent the opportunity to do that to you. If you go for a pull first, this doesn't work. This straight up doesn't work. You have to go for... Your Zerglings will be able to deny your probe, if anything else, but it'll also be able to give you that added DPS that you need to burn down these photon cannons as they're building. Also, it doesn't really make much sense at all for me to do this if you have a spawning pool in your main on one base and you're able to transition very quickly into Roach Tech, which will be able to help you again burn down these photon cannons relatively safely. So behind this, I am taking my nexus, I am dropping my gateway. I should be dropping another pylon or even a gas at this point, but I'm not, because I'm not macroing all that well right now. So I'm going to come in. I just want to see what he's up to. And I see that spine crawler that's there. So I actually am a little encouraged. I am thinking in my mind that he thinks that I am going to follow this up with some kind of all-in. That I'm really just interested in ending this game early on one base, which I'm not. I just used this cannon block to deny his first initial hatch first. And behind this, I myself am expanding, which puts him in a really difficult spot because he's really behind economically. He's really behind economically, and the longer that this game goes where he's not able to take that natural expansion, the better off I'm going to be. Here's the other thing though that I noticed the first time I was watching this replay. He has this drone out on the map. I never knew this drone was out here. I could kind of assume that he had a scout on the map, but I didn't know this drone was here. If you're in this situation as Zerg, one of the things you can do is that you can take a ninja expansion like over on this side of the map or possibly over on this side of the map. You're already behind, and your Protoss opponent is probably feeling very comfortable about the fact that he's ahead of you economically. So one of the things that you can do is take a hidden expansion that will lull the Protoss into a false sense of security and give you the opportunity to come back. One of the other things that you can do is go straight into Roach Tech and try and bust through not only the photon cannon wall, but also your main wall and your main the Protoss opponent's main base as well. Because again, my defenses are relatively minimal. I have these pylons and these photon cannons down here for the sole purpose of making sure that I am fully aware of whatever the Zerg is doing. But the Zerg was finally able to knock down my photon cannon, knock down my pylon, and he's able to get out for his expansion himself. This is a good idea too. He can't get to this one yet because these cannons are here, so he's going immediately for his third base, and he's probably going to expand again as soon as he's able to clear out these photon cannons. But I'm still very far ahead. I'm dropping down 2 additional gateways, a robotics facility. I'm up now to 36 probes, which is matching his. My gas income is much higher. He only has these first 2 gases down, and I'm already up to 4 gas, which allows me to go straight into heavier tech units. So I have this robotics facility down. I'm making the observer. I'm going to be dropping down additional gateways here in the moment, because I see. Here's the other nice thing about this build for me. I see everything the Zerg is doing, for the most part. I don't see this expansion. I don't know this expansion is here, but I'm assuming that he's going to be expanding as soon as he was able to take this down. But I also know exactly when he's going to be able to take his natural because these photon cannons are still here. He obviously can't take this expansion if these photon cannons are still here. So what I'm most concerned about right now is a Roach Ling heavy counterattack. That's what I'm most concerned with. The Zerg player has had plenty of time to sit on this 2 base. He does have this macro hatch here, which is a great idea on his part, by the way, in case I didn't mention it. This macro hatch, he dropped this down almost as soon as he canceled that first base, which is very important. One of the reasons why Zerg is so fond of fast expanding is because it gives them a second hatchery for increased larva production. So if you are being denied your natural expansion, you still need that second hatchery for additional larva production. Otherwise, you're really only using 1 hatchery to produce both combat units and workers. So he's dropping a Spire here. He's trying to clear out these last remaining photon cannons, and he already does have this third base of his, which is his second base, but it's located at the 3rd position. He has it well saturated. He is up to 50 drones. I'm at 44 drones, and I'm just scouting. I'm scouting, and I'm preparing what is really just a standard follow-up to my standard play, which is I like to go very heavily into Colossus Tech, at least initially with Protoss. I'm not that comfortable with my Blink Micro to focus a lot on Blink Stalkers. But here's the thing. I'm moving out on the map. I'm trying to establish map control. I don't know that this 3rd base is here, but I will soon. As soon as I spot this 3rd base, and I know that it's relatively undefended, because I know that he just cleared out the photon cannons over here, that's going to prompt an attack on my part. I have 6 gateways down. I have this Immortal that's moving across the map right here. I feel comfortable going for this 3rd base denial. I'm not trying to kill him. I'm just trying to deny this 3rd base, which would be pretty much a killing blow in his current position. I have these force fields down here. They are funneling these roaches in the way that I want them, just so I can get a second warp in of units here. My warp in's a little slow though. I'm trying to micro on this side of the map. I need to get this warp in down. Finally, it goes down, and as fortune would have it, this warp in comes in right as this Immortal has finished making his way across the map. So now these roaches are stuck. They have an Immortal behind them and Stalkers in front of them. They can't really do much. He decides that he wants to try and focus fire down my Immortal, but these Stalkers are just going to pick away at them while I just move my Immortal away from the roaches. More roaches are coming in here. I should be chrono boosting these gateways. I think it's because I was supply blocked temporarily, which is not something you want to do in this position if you're the Protoss player. He's pulled drones. He's trying to kill my Stalkers. He's trying to get rid of this army with his workers count. But I mean, the damage has already been done. Even if he hadn't GG'd out right here, I killed all of his drones. his third base is going to be denied, and it really goes back to the way that this opened. The way that this opened really kind of put the Zerg player in a very difficult position. And the thing is, you won't see Protoss players do this very often if they know that you have a spawning pull down, because the build is so much riskier. So much riskier to do, and it's not even that effective. It's not even that effective if you have a spawning pull down. If the Protoss goes for this kind of early photon cannon pressure, guess what? Their main is completely vulnerable. They can't kill you with photon cannons that are down on your low ground. They have to go into your main base to do that, and then you can just deny the probe. You can deny the probe with drones and or a queen. Offensive photon cannon rushes do not work if you go spawning pull first. They don't work. The only reason why this worked is because he went 15 hatch against Protoss. A lot of Zergs will tell you this, and I'm telling you this too. If you're a Zerg player, don't do it. Don't go 15 hatch against a Protoss player. Don't go 15 hatch against a random player. You will get burned for it. I hope you found this video educational. I hope that the stereotype that I'm a cheesy random player doesn't stick with me too much. The purpose of this video is really just to demonstrate why a certain particular build is far too risky for normal ladder play. I'm ktvindicare. Thanks for watching.